I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me, you ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes, call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though Joe, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love, still gonna die for what I love, still gonna try, I won't give up, still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret, cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no. Some injuries, mentally and physically. Studied them religiously so I don't repeat history. And people won't admit to me they don't want a victory bad enough to get a C. They'd rather just go leave it be. And oh, this journey I've been on since 13, working hard and learning, never stopping searching. Yeah, it's burning, all this passion hurts me. I took action working, writing down these words. No, I'm not okay, I just wanna be something. I don't wanna be nothing, living all alone. No, I'm not alright, I'm just barely getting by. But I'll tell you I'm just fine, so you leave me alone. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left, and I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret, cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop till the end, no.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? Happy 3rd of August. Dear God, you guys, we have made it to the end of July, and now we're here in August, which it's sad that we've gotten to this point of the calendar, that the whole half of the year has already flown by, but I'm excited because it means we are one more week closer to college football. Let's go, Ducks! Anyways, got to give a shout out to the Dying Breed community, my Patreon members. I mean, you guys, honestly, without them, like this book series, Bloodbath, the Scalpel Chronicles, that entire book series is all thanks to them. So thank you so much to Warrior Bernard, Fighters, Maxwell, Foster, Q. Of course, we've got Guardian Wilkie. We've got Soldiers, Basila, Little Panda, Aiden, Unwired, and of course, Defenders, LG, Jodan, Miss Aoife, who congratulations to her and R.A. Cooper on your recent signing with Legion Publishers. That is awesome to see. I'm super excited for you two because you are two amazing ladies. And of course, the one and only Duck Commander Stephen Landry, who I got an incredible compliment from him. And maybe we'll read it today. But oh my gosh, thank you so much to the Dying Breed community for your guys' support. And of course, we've got the one and only John A. Douglas. John coming into the chat saying, we strive, we fight, we make it. Let's go, people. Monday is my birthday. Going to do a long evening stream. You are invited to drop in if you want to hang out and promote your new books. Dude, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And happy belated or early birthday, pre-birthday. Happy pre-birthday to you, man. What's great is I was just writing your character in Golem Master Book 2 earlier this week because I was like, dude, I need to get John's character back in here. And my good buddy Christopher Mix, who is another author. He's also a content creator, live streamer, video gamer. He and I were at Phoenix Fan Fusion. We've done an author chat before. I was like, dude, I really want to get Mixtifer's character in here as well. So yeah, you interview Mixtifer, and it was a really fun episode because I got to really play into what Christopher was bringing into the world of the Golem Master world. So that was really fun, man. It was really fun. It was a really good time. So yeah, great to see you here, man. All right, let's get into the updates because that's what we're here for. One, I did not get as much writing done this week. Sorry, if I'm looking around, I'm looking for, oh, there it is, my writing tracker. My tab with all my notes and my stats. I did not get as much writing done this week. Oh, it's Angel Ramon. What's up, bro? I didn't get as much writing in this week because Sunday I got called into work. So that was a full 8-hour day. I am really going to love that overtime because more than likely by my year mark, I will have maxed out my comp time at 120 hours. So that means, yeah, that's like extra week and a half of vacation right there, right? No, extra 3 weeks of vacation. My math is not good. So yeah, so I was really excited about that, but I was not excited about the fact that I was just so exhausted from work. I did not get a whole lot of writing in this week. So I had to close out July, and now obviously we're in August, so all my new word count's going to go for August, but the word count total for July has ended at 49,024 words. All of those words are in Golem Master Book 2. So what that means, and actually, let me see if I can. So right now, Golem Master Book 2 is just at about 150 pages, maybe a little bit more than that, depending on how the formatting goes. So yeah, it's crazy to think, you guys. I'm at 150 pages, almost 50,000 words that I wrote in 1 month while working a full-time job. It can be done. Now, granted, I have nothing else in my life besides that, but I am just so excited for Golem Master Book 2, and I'll talk about some of the things I'm really excited about, but let's get to all of these chatties. I did a lot of video creation, going to make it up this upcoming week with some bombastic writing effort. That is quite the word. I love it. Oh, look at this wonderful fickin' man. What up, Principal Stevens? Don't you dare put me in detention. It will become more writing time in the future. Yes, absolutely. So, oh my gosh, you guys seriously like it. This week really wore me out. I wasn't happy with the fact that I didn't get as much writing in, but that's where my weekends go. So 49,000 words in July total, all towards Golem Master Book 2. Which I apologize, you guys, to the Patreon members. I uploaded the chapters like 15 minutes ago for this week. I meant to post them on Thursday, but work was extremely taxing, like I said. And then yesterday I was going to do it, totally forgot. And then at the end of my work day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the beach. I want to go to the beach. And so at first I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a hotel room. I'm going to spend 2 days at the coast. I'll do the live stream from the coast, my hotel room. It'll be great. And then you saw the hotel prices for the weekend at the beach. And it's like, oh, we are not going to the beach. Or we're not going to stay at the beach. So I went to the coast yesterday, had a wonderful dinner, walked on the sand, absolutely loved it. I was coming back home and I was like, okay, I'll get home right around 8:30. I will just drop the chapters when I get home. And then I got halfway home and there was a major accident on the highway that completely blocked both lanes of travel. And they were like, hey, just take an alternate route. So for those of you who may not know, I used to do like off-roading and adventuring. Like I've done hikes into the wilderness where there's no cell coverage for hours. I have driven backlogging roads to hike up cliff sides and get photos of my sunsets and landscapes. So I have no problem with forest roads. I drove the 3 main forest roads, and when other people in trucks were like backing up and leaving, I was still going. And I drove all the way until this forestry road was dead. The grass was up like halfway to the minivan, and there was absolutely no forestry roads that would allow us to work around this area. So I literally had to drive 3 hours back to the coast, down to the next major town, down all the way to the highway, and then back up. So I got home at like 11:30 last night. So I apologize. That is why the Patreon chapters got uploaded this morning once I remembered. So yeah, why did I say all that? I don't know. Anyways, so the writing total for the year is at 333,000 and some change. And then, of course, the career total, as you guys know, we're at 1,016,000. And yeah, got to enjoy yourself, bro. I know, dude. And that's why I wanted to go to the coast, because I was like, I have just, this entire week has slammed me mentally and emotionally. My energy has just been depleted. I need to go have an adventure. I need to go do something. And so I was like, I need to go to the coast. And that's where, as soon as I got to the coast, I just, you know, it was so relaxing, so calming to just have that time to decompress and get away from everything. So I am so glad that I went to the coast last night, even though it delayed my travel plans. Like, that's fine, because now I'm just super excited to get into writing today, because of what's going on in the world of the Golem Master world. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. That's a lot of words. Steve Campbell, the one and only amazing audiobook narrator. Steve Campbell coming into the chat saying, what's up? What's up, bro? It's great to see you. I have a funny feeling you're probably prepping for Dragon Con, which I'm not going to be there. But, man, I wish I was, because I would love to spend some more time with you. You are an awesome individual, my friend. So, yeah, 1,016,000 words. And that's actually going to tie into one of the important things that I wanted to talk about for this week, something that I found, something that I think really will help put writing into perspective for all of you content creators, whatever it is, right? But yeah, so Golem Master Book 2 right now, as you guys know who are following along. How you doing? I wish I was going too. Okay, so we can just video chat, Steve, and we'll just like have our little moment. Like, maybe we'll just have some coffee or caffeine, and we'll just pretend that we're at Dragon Con. Maybe that's what we'll do. But I'm always here for you, man. You're always welcome to reach out when you need to talk and catch up. So Golem Master Book 2 is right now, we're getting into, we just had Jay Baraz's character come into the world and get help out or connect with Pepper in a certain way. And I don't want to give away too much. Dude, I really have a hard time with like not giving out spoilers. Yeah, we'll hang out in Commensurate. Exactly. Commensurate. So Jay Baraz's character has come into the world. Pepper is now coming to terms with the fact of, because he's going from the KBVS club match into this new realm, into this new area, he needs to make some decisions on what he's going to do with Mala. And what was really cool about that was I came up with this whole variation. I was like, what if I made a nightmare or a midnight version of Mala? And I think it's going to play really cool into the next thing that I'm working on, so that I'll tell you guys here in a few minutes. But we just also set up this we're starting to cause some of the friction with the roommate dynamic, which I think you guys who are reading on the Patreon know and understand. So this roommate dynamic is slowly changing. I'm going to be adding some more elements to that. And it's been really fun to be at this stage in the Golem universe. The thing that I'm worried about is how long this goes, because like we're only covering like week 1 or 2 in this 50,000 words of Golem Master. And so that's where I'm like, ooh, Golem Master Book 2 is supposed to cover like this, like all of these plot points. And I've shoved them so far this way that I'm like, maybe those will be Book 3 of Golem Master. I don't know. Maybe I'll get to in Book 2. Maybe Book 2 will just be like 200,000 words. I don't know. So yeah, so it's been a very interesting dynamic of like, you know, Michael Head's character is supposed to be coming into Book 2. My best friend Jay Pritchard has his character coming in, which is with Michael Head. We have Elron Kong. We have Matt Dinneman coming in to book 2. I was like, okay, Andrea Parsnow, I want her to have a character in the Golem universe. I think I figured out she may be in book 3 of the Golem universe. I want to have Steve Campbell have a character. So I'm not sure where to put Steve just yet. Maybe Steve could be the lead singer for the Matt Dinneman band. I don't know. Or should Matt Dinneman be the lead singer? I don't know. We'll have to figure out a place for Steve. That would be pretty cool. I'll stop interrupting now. Dude, no, absolutely. I love it when we get some really great chats going on because this is a time for all of us to connect, even though it's my weekend updates and my motivational thoughts. I love getting to hear what is going on with your guys' worlds as well. So like Angel coming in, the Mariners are hanging on to first, tied with the Astros. Let's go Mariners. Hell yeah. Dude, I've been a Mariners fan since I was a kid. Some cool JD Glasscock coming in. Some cool superhero has invaded my Facebook. What happened? He looks to be one of those rare dying breeds. What is up, man? Thank you. That is a very nice compliment. I appreciate that. Kyle Wilkie coming in. You amazing author. Whatever, dude. You are the amazing author, my friend. This is going to be a fun series. Yes, absolutely. Ryan Maxwell. What's up, bro? Steve should be the Canuck that got lost looking for the restroom. That's funny. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Now I'm really curious. I'm really going to play with this, Steve. I'm really going to play and see what character where we should put Steve into this. I'm really going to be thinking about this. But yeah, so anyways, as I was out at the coast, I figured out where Andrea Parsnow's character is going to be. That's really going to push things out. And so, so we've got a lot of stuff that's supposed to be coming up in book 2 of Golem Master. The problem is that I'm just diving into the real granular things that are going on right now. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just going to continue to go and see how this goes, see how this progresses. So yeah, it's been really great. It's been really fun. And we're about to have another match, which for those of you who have read the the mother of all bombs golem, which that's all I want to say. You guys should have. Wait, did you guys watch that? Hold on, let me see. Now I need another reason to follow you. Who knew I would find a friend who was a Ducks fan and a Mariners fan? Yeah, absolutely, dude. Kyle, did we already have the Golem League Pantheon match on Patreon? Oh my gosh. The Duck Commander, Stephen Landry. Cook, the roommates dynamics have been so fun. Dude, I am so excited. Thank you for saying that. I've had a lot of fun doing it. And I'm really just going to continue to dive into that, especially with Wilson. I realized where finally, I based Wilson's character off of Squints from The Sandlot. And so now I'm just like, oh my gosh, Marcus needs to start calling Wilson Squints. And obviously, they'll have no idea, we're not going to tie it to The Sandlot, but I don't know. I just feel like Wilson's going to be like, I'm not Squints. Stop telling me my name is Squints. My name is Wilson. Right? I don't know. But I just feel like that was so much fun. So I thought of that last night while I was at the beach. So Stephen Campbell will narrate Golem Masters now, right? We're still waiting for the second narrator to give their audition. So the second narrator basically wanted to wait until the manuscript was complete before they submitted their audition. So Steve has already submitted his, and I've listened to it about 40 million times because I love it, and I crack up laughing quite a bit. The first time he sent me the audition, I forgot what lines I sent him to read for the audition, and so I was laughing, and I was driving on a backcountry road, which I would not recommend when you first listen to Golem Master. So yes, it's not been decided just yet, but I definitely wrote Golem Master with Steve's voice in mind as I wrote it. So there's that. Sup, Steven? Angel Ramon giving Stephen Landry the shout out. Yeah, so there's still a lot of characters that need to come into light. Evan Dunham, his character's coming in book 2 eventually. I don't know when, where, why, or how. So yeah. Oh, and that's where I needed to add in a gnome's rule. Like, as you guys know, there's so many Easter eggs in Golem Master, and there's just so many characters as well. It's just been so much fun to like really dive into this even more. So yeah. So book 2 is almost at 50,000 words. It's not slowing down. It's definitely pushing all the other major points to the right. And I'm just going to see how it goes. So I believe so, but I could be wrong. Okay. So gosh, now I need to see. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Sorry, I'm scrolling through the manuscript to see like where did the Golem match take place? Researching at the moment. Yeah, exactly. Because okay, yeah. So we did drop it. So I'm definitely thinking of some more Golem matches with that main Golem in place. Yeah, so I've come up with some other really cool things on how that Golem can come in and we can have some fun with it. So researching at the moment, yeah. Miss Geneva Agnos coming in, just got in, but did I see Steve Campbell, audiobook narrator for it? Yay. Steve, so the Patreon members know, I told Patreon what, like a couple weeks ago, you guys, right? So Steve Campbell and Daniel Wisnowski are the current narrators auditioning for Golem Master. When I wrote Golem Master, I had Steve Campbell in mind. The reason Daniel Wisnowski is auditioning is because before I reached out to Steve, Daniel reached out to me and asked if he could audition. So I wanted to be respectful, let both audition. So we're going to wait and see. We're still waiting on Daniel Wisnowski to give his audition. But I'm super excited. I don't think you could go wrong with either one because both are amazing creatures. They're just the best of the best. But Steve definitely had me laughing. So, yes. Okay, what else? Both are awesome. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so yes, Golem Master, you guys. Golem Master Book 2. Almost 50,000 words, not slowing down. 333,000 words this year with the 1,016,000 in the career total. So what is the next update that I have for you guys? The next update is that I've been working on the trading card game. Not as much as I've wanted to, but as so normally I work on the trading card game Saturdays before the live stream updates. And so far, it's been like, well, how would this work? How would that work? Right? Like trying to figure out the mechanics and the structure of the game. And at first I was like, well, there can't be items like in Pokemon where you could have like a heavy lifter's belt, which adds this. You could have this. I was like, well, there's no way for us to have items. And then I was like, you dummy. Yes, you can, because you have golems in the series that have weapons. Like we had the Mech Warrior versus the Snake, and the mech had rockets and machine guns. I was like, well, that would be an item. So if you have a sword, you could have a sword, you could have a shield, you could have a battle axe, or you could have the Duck Commander's battle guitar. So I was like, those are the items. So I was able to just realize where I could put the item cards in. So I started to come up with some item cards. And then we have other things like a smoke grenade for a smoke screen, which you guys have already seen in the manuscript for book 1. Then there's something called Archaic Light, which you have not experienced yet. That is coming up in book 2, but I love Archaic Light. I love what it's going to do. So I've added that card into the set. And what I liked about it is having these items allows the player, if they want to have a heavy shield and then have a battle guitar, they can play something like Nate's card. If you guys remember from Nate's Dojo, Nate's Master Dojo card allows someone to conduct 2 physical attacks back to back instead of 1. So, and then if you play a Kevin Sinclair card, your golem has an offensive weapon attached, which granted, I haven't gotten Kevin's permission yet. I'm just saying this is like where it's in my head. Your golem has an offensive weapon attached. You can add an extra 50 damage per attack. So if you have a battle guitar with 100 physical attack damage and you play a Kevin Sinclair with 150, and then you play a Nate Craven card, you could literally be attacking your opponent's golem for 300 damage. So you don't necessarily need the runes. So it's just adding in this other layer of depth. Still making the decision. I would love both Daniel and Steve to do a co-narration for this. What do you think, Steve? Daniel? Co-narration, that would be amazing. If you ever want help with the card game, feel free to reach out. I've played pretty much all of the major ones and collected them at some point in time. Yeah, so I appreciate that, Ryan. I talked to John Stovall about it a little bit, and I think I talked about that last week, where he was just like, dude, like, your concept works. It makes sense. And honestly, at first, I was planning on, like, what if you had 1 to 4 golems? But I was like, no, actually, it makes sense that you are just playing with 1 golem. And once your golem is defeated, the match is over. And I kind of like that idea. I'm the more I play with that, the more I'm like, no, you don't need 4 victory points or 5 victory points to win the game. It's literally 1 golem versus 1 golem. And the other reason I say that and that I like that is you're going to start out with your golem in the active spot, and then you're just adding to that golem. And what that does is it allows me to be more creative with the golems themselves. So if I have a Mala, I might have a weakness to fire and gravity, whereas my Nightmare variation has a weakness to lightning and something else, but it has this ability. And so it allows me to be really creative with those golems. And so it's like, if this is your 1 golem, if you're going to go with a Nightmare golem, you're now building a deck based off of that 1 golem, and that's your 1 shot. Or if you go with like Stephen Landry's Yeti XYZ, or some of these other golems I've thought about, I can just focus in on the abilities or the special characteristics of those 1 golems, and it allows us or me or whatever to have like those different seasons. Like I said, so season 1, here's the season 1 card set. And then over the next 2-3 years, I come up with season 2, which has totally different golems in it, maybe some different player cards, gladiator assist cards, item cards, whatever. So that's where it's like, this makes sense that you're building 1 deck off of 1 golem, just like the main characters have to build 1 golem per match within the Golem League. So that's my thought. That is where I'm at right now. And I'm so very excited. I don't know if you guys can tell I'm super excited because it's coming along really good. So right now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Gladiator Assist cards, which is basically characters from the story. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 item cards. And that's not even getting into the runes. Because obviously, if you want to use a fire rune, you have to have a fire rune on your bench. Then you would have to have the fire rune, like fireball rune or fire something. And so I'm still working on those mechanics. I think the hard part too is when Pokemon Trading Card Game came out, the base game was very simple, right? The base game was very simple. all you really had was the weaknesses and strengths of the Pokemon. And it wasn't until years later when they started to evolve the trading card game that they started to add in these abilities, these other cards and things like that. So that's where I'm like, well, I'm trying to start my game where the current version of the Pokemon trading card game is. And so it's definitely a lot more complicated to think about all these different things. But yes, I'm happy to play test the card game. What I'm thinking is a select few members of the Patreon, once the card game is like built-ish, I just print up a bunch of the cards as those testers and send them out to some of you, like, because I know Steven will play, Ryan I'm sure will play, Brandon and Wolfie will play. So that's where I'm like, okay, I'll send out these cards to some of the Patreon members or some of the other people that I know that are really big into trading card games, and we'll have them play test them. We'll see how it goes. And there's a huge trading card store and like tabletop game store and stuff here in Salem. And so I'm planning to just go to them and be like, hey, here's what I'm doing. Do you guys want to help by seeing if there's some of your frequent customers who would love to play test this as well? So yeah, I mean, it's still in the works. And that's where some of the things that I've talked about before is, things take time to build. And I'm just like, okay, this may take me another full year. So like the rest of 2024 and into 2025, I may be building this card game. And maybe it won't even be ready for release until late 2025 or 2026, 2027. But it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm really excited and I'm having fun building this thing. So it's okay if it takes time because you've got to work through all these nuances. Not to toot my own horn too much, but I am a bot of a tabletop game, card game, board game. Nice. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I know Lucas is creating his own board game right now. And we've talked about it on the stream. I've play tested it with him on the combat side, but he's literally like 3D printing his figures now, and he's really like testing it out. So I'm super excited with him to help him a little bit and see where that goes. So it's been fun, man. It's been a lot of fun. Take your time, TJ, because it will be amazing if you take the time to make it right. Right? That's what I keep trying to tell myself. That's what I keep trying to tell myself. So yeah, so that's the next update. The trading card game is coming along. It's coming along slower than Golem Master, but Golem Master is what takes the priority in my life. So there's that. Okay. You guys, Bloodbath comes out at the end of this month. Can you believe it? It's been over a year. It's been over a year since it's been written and released publicly, and we are just at the cusp of it being truly released and out to the public. It's terrifying. Terrifying. But yes. Oh my God. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it does, how it's received. It'll be interesting. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. That's for sure. But with that being said, let's go into, I definitely want to give a shout out because this was a wonderful comment that I got. Boop, boop, boop. So, in Patreon, there's the ability to recommend other authors or other people in Patreons. And I've been slowly adding to my list. It's not like I'm trying to ignore some people. It's just like, okay, as soon as I saw that option, I was like, I want to make sure I hit Brian and then Stephen Landry and Nick Boslow. And so I'm making my way down the list because there's, obviously a lot of amazing creators out there. And so I wrote Stephen Landry a recommendation, and he replied back with one where he said, TJ exists somewhere in the Nexus as the most brutal writer I've ever read and one of the most wholesome. TJ writes characters that'll pull at your heartstrings as much as pull out your spinal cord. Proud to be a part of his pack. And dude, that meant so much to me. So thank you to the Duck Commander, Stephen Landry. Like, dude, that That is such a beautiful review, and I just absolutely love it. So thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so one of the thoughts that I had, so now we're going to move into like the thought portion of the stream, was this week I started thinking about like when people say, I want to write a book. Now, we know that the statistics tell us that out of 1,000 people who say they want to write a book, only 30 are going to write the actual manuscript or finish the manuscript. Out of those 30, 6 will ever publish it. And out of that number, those that publish multiple books is even smaller. So that's one of the things that spurred this thought within me. And it was basically when people say, I want to write a book. Okay. My question then, as I reflected on it this past week, is do you want to write a book or do you want to become a storyteller? Because those two things are extremely different ends of the spectrum. And what I mean by that is, it's one thing to write a book and say, oh, I have a story to tell. And many times I feel like when people say that, they're wanting to talk about their own story. I want to write my story. I want to put this out there in the world. And that's fine. That's absolutely great. But do you want to become a storyteller? Because that is where it's the long-term thing. For those who want to just write a book, I would say you're going to be working on that manuscript many times, or probably should be working on that manuscript many times, going over it multiple times. It may take you a couple years. As a storyteller, though, that is where you are actively working to develop the skills to write better stories, tell better stories. And I think that's where you have to understand that becoming a storyteller, becoming an author that tells stories is a far longer process, far more drawn out, and you're going to have far less successes at the beginning. I believe this, and granted, this is just me openly talking. I could be right or wrong, indifferent, whatever. I could change my opinion next week. But it's one of those things of like, it's just like any other craft. When you start out in a band, you have that garage band album that, is produced with just the bare minimum things that you could afford. And then you start to work on the next album. And then, you want to go through these things. And many of those bands fizzle out. Many of those bands never progress. But some of those bands are what go on to really create movements within the music industry or within their fan bases, right? The Linkin Parks, the Korns, the Limp Bizkits, the Taylor Swifts, the Britney Spears, all these different bands that just grind and grind and grind. And yeah, their early work is never that good, or maybe something that doesn't really resonate, but it is their work that they continue to build. And so as a storyteller, you have to develop those skills leading out. Your character growth may not be the best in your first couple of books or your first couple of stories, but it gets better over time because you learn and you grow as an author. And so one of the things that I then found, of course, where did it go? Why is it not there? I'm literally looking for the post that I found earlier, and I cannot find it now. Okay, fine. My apologies. I can't find it. I should have screenshotted it, which I thought I did. But it gave out the statistics for Justin Bieber, Drake, I believe, and Taylor Swift. The statistics it gave out was Taylor Swift has over 200 songs released. Justin Bieber has over 200 songs released. Drake or Kendrick Lamar, whoever it was, has over 200 songs released. Out of those 200 songs, only 20% of those songs became hits. So, what is 20% of 242? I believe Okay, so I believe Taylor Swift's numbers were about 242 to 250 some songs that she has released over her career. Out of those, only 20%. So only 48 songs became hits. And when you think about that as writing, if you do you want to write a book, do you want to become a storyteller? If you're going to become a storyteller, out of 10 books that you release, only 2 of them may actually take off and get attraction. And so that's one of the things where when you put that into perspective, granted, I think making a song and writing a book, both are different skill sets, both have different time frames of like, yeah, maybe this took me a week to write and refine and create this banger of a song. It may take you 3 months or whatever to write a banger of a book, right? But if that's the same statistical thought process, out of 10 books, only 2 may happen. And so, yeah, my 4 books of The Dying Breed. I love the story. I love the world, but not everyone else does. My 3 books of Bloodbath. I love the story. I love the world. It's not for everyone. May or may not take off. But Golem Master, I love writing it. That's 1 book out of 10. That might be the book that takes off, right? Or gets traction. And so if you want to become a storyteller, just know it's going to take you a couple stories before 1 or 2 may happen. A lot of things all come into play with that, right? Timing, market, attraction to whatever it is within the niche genre. There's a lot of other factors, but it's still the same concept of you could write a lot of books. They may not take off. They may not get you enough traction. But if you keep at it long enough, you should statistically find that you're going to write a book that a lot of people will love, that a lot of people will enjoy, and it would have never happened if you gave up. So you got to keep going. You got to keep developing. You got to keep growing. Don't give up on the dream. But just know, being a storyteller is far different than writing a book. So if that's what you say, if you're saying, I want to write a book, do you want to write a book, or do you actually want to become an author / storyteller? Because those are 2 very different roads, 2 very different commitments. So there's that. Wolfie, where is my mouse? 3 screens, where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Hail, Mr. Lombardi, what's up? Good to see you, Little Panda Aiden. Little Panda Aiden. Yeah. I found that a development editor will bring you back down to earth quite quickly. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love the Duck Squad. The Duck Squad is amazing. We have some amazing people in the Dying Breed communities for sure. We have some incredible people. Okay, so let's get into these motivational videos for this week.
A famous painter placed his painting in a New York City intersection with a note that read, "If you see a mistake, please take the paints and make a mark where you see the mistake." He came back the next day, and to his shock, there were hundreds of marks all over his painting. In fact, almost completely covering his painting. He took this very hard and stopped painting, so distraught by that result. He informed his mother that he was done painting forever. His mother said, "Okay, son, but before you do, I want you to do one thing for me. I want you to do another painting and put it at the same intersection. This time I want the note to say, if you see a mistake, please take the paints and correct it." The next day, to his shock, he saw that the painting didn't have a single mark on it. Remember this, any fool can find a mistake, and most fools always seem to do just that. Don't waste your time with the opinions of fools who are only looking for others' faults and have neither the time nor the ability to improve upon what you have created. A famous painter placed his painting in a New York City intersection with a note that read, "If you see a mistake, please take the paints and make a mark where you see the mistake." He came back the next day, and to his shock, there were hundreds of marks all over his painting. In fact, almost completely covering his painting. He took this very hard and stopped painting, so distraught by that result. He informed his mother that he was done painting forever. His mother said, "Okay, son, but before you do, I want you to do one thing for me. I want you to do another painting and put it at the same intersection. This time I want the note to say, if you see a mistake, please take the paints and correct it." The next day, to his shock, he saw that the painting didn't have a single mark on it. Remember this, any fool can find a mistake, and most fools always seem to do just that. Don't waste your time with the opinions of fools who are only looking for others' faults and have neither the time nor the ability to improve upon what you have created.
Man, I love that. I love that. There is a difference between like taking constructive feedback and creative feedback to help make you better. But man, you're always going to have haters that don't like something. But you're going to have others who love it and ignore whatever your small flaws may be.
To be a top 1% podcaster, you have to upload 21 podcasts. 21, top 1%. 90% of people don't get past 1. 9% don't get past 20. And then 1% of podcasters, of all of them, make it to 21 plus. The world belongs to those who can keep doing without seeing the result of their doing. And the longer you can wait to see the result of your doing while still continuing to do is the extent to which you can win big in life. To be a top 1% podcaster, you have to upload 21 podcasts. 21, top 1%. 90% of people don't get past 1. 9% don't get past 20. And then 1% of podcasters, of all of them, make it to 21 plus. The world belongs to those who can keep doing without seeing the result of their doing. And the longer you can wait to see the result of your doing while still continuing to do is the extent to which you can win big in life.
So just like we were talking about with the books, right? And the artists who create these songs, only 20% of their music take off. Only 1% ever get past 21 episodes. The development of your skills and the refinement of your craft, whatever it is going to take time. This is not something that really is just jump in and create quick success. Some may have it. Congrats to them being that select 1%, but the majority of what you're going to do is going to require time and effort. Exactly, Brandon. Warrior Bernard coming in. The percentage of those who do the work is 1%, period.
If you make the task small enough, I've never seen anyone not be able to progress if they made the task small enough. But, that can be pretty humiliating. Now, the upside is that once you take that first step, you've looked the beast in the face and you'll start progressing, not linearly, but exponentially in speed. So what's cool is that it doesn't really matter how small that first step is, because it'll start doubling, and anything that doubles grows unbelievably quickly. And if you make the task small enough, I've never seen anyone not be able to progress if they made the task small enough. But, that can be pretty humiliating. Now, the upside is that once you take that first step, you've looked the beast in the face and you'll start progressing, not linearly, but exponentially in speed. So what's cool is that it doesn't really matter how small that first step is, because it'll start doubling, and anything that doubles grows unbelievably quickly. And if you make...
I love that, you guys. I love that. Think about that. If all you can do is write 250 words a day, within 2 days, you've doubled that. Within 4 days, you've doubled that. You are literally allowing yourself to take the small steps to achieving the thing that you want. And over time, you may find your writing speed getting faster. You may find your writing speed getting slower. Why is it getting slower? Because you're getting better. Just because you write fast doesn't mean that you write well. You may find more grammar errors. You may find that the flow is completely ridiculous and needs to be rewritten later on. And so as you get more experience, you might write slower, but you might have fewer mistakes or errors. There's so many different variables. But again, like he was saying, if you take those small steps towards the thing you want to achieve, you will achieve it much faster than if you try to just jump way ahead and then stop or whatever.
University of Pennsylvania did a study, 22-year study, 350,000 people. And they found that a thinking pattern began to emerge over a 22-year period that was what they called predictive of success. So wouldn't you want to know if there was a way you could think that it would predict success? What was the thinking pattern? Guess what it was? It was optimism. They noticed that the optimistic people, it became a predictor of success. Now, here's what's interesting. 2 characteristics they found in these optimistic people. One is that they had an unrealistic expectation that they were going to succeed. An unrealistic expectation. And by the way, let me pontificate for a minute. This is an academic studying you, right? They're studying Eric Worre, and they're over a 22-year period, and they're thinking to themselves, because you're telling them, they're doing the study, I'm going to accomplish this and this and all this visionary stuff. And guess what they're thinking? That's unrealistic. Unrealistic to who? In this case, to them, or maybe even unrealistic in the world. But it's not unrealistic to you. You're willing to go for it and chase it. That optimism or that visionary part. Second characteristic is they would try new things until they succeeded. So most people persist until it gets hard. They persist until the customer quits. They persist until the team member leaves. That team quits. They persist until that point. Where these optimistic visionary people will say, I'll just persist until I succeed. University of Pennsylvania did.
So the one big important thing with that I always like to remind is, like, if you're writing a dead series and it's not selling, you have to be able to change and switch. And that's why I like the very end of that, where it's like, I'm going to continue until I succeed. So, hey, I wrote 3 books in the series. It's not succeeding, but that doesn't mean that I am not a success. I'm going to now switch up and keep going here. I'm not going to switch up and keep going here. I'm going to continue to go down this path, knowing eventually I will have a success, whatever that is defined as. My journey is a success in itself, but what I want to also achieve is a story that has a great following that people will enjoy. And so I really relate that to Golem Master, where it's like, dude, I now can also create a trading card game. And so for some people, like he said, they would be like, that's unrealistic, that's ridiculous. No, it's not to me, because of the road that I've already built, the road I've already traveled, and the point where I'm at now to see the future and to see where it could be. I'm going to keep going. I've noticed that it's very easy, Kyle coming in. I've noticed that it's very easy to be optimistic about someone else, but to be optimistic about oneself is very difficult. I think that we are always harder on ourselves than we ever are on others. 100%, Kyle. 100%. And that's where I've talked about it. I mean, dude, we've been doing the weekend updates for over a year now. Can you believe that? Over a year. I've talked about it before throughout the year. You only grow in confidence by doing, right? Throwing a football, throwing a baseball, cooking, music, writing. All of your confidence comes from the act of doing. And so it's very hard at first, within your first couple books or your first year, to be, oh my gosh, I'm terrible. I'm not good. This isn't, no one's going to like it, blah, blah, blah. And so that's why I keep really rephrasing to the mantra of don't give up, just get better. Don't give up, just get better. Keep going. And so, again, do you want to write a book? Do you want to be a storyteller? If that's the road you're going to go on, you have to envision yourself. And as you guys may remember, I used to have my list on my mirror when I lived in Phoenix. And every day it took me roughly 2.5 minutes, but I had over 200 different statements. You know, I am a good writer. I am a good world builder. TJ is a good friend. TJ has a confident smile. TJ has great blah, blah, blah. And it was all of these characteristics and traits. And I wanted to say that and build that within my mindset. And honestly, it was a great development tool. So that's something I would say is get out a sheet of paper, whether it's, you know, computer or handwritten, and write out those statements for yourself. What do you want to, what do you wish you could tell yourself? Make your list, tape it on the mirror, and once a day, whether you're brushing your teeth or whatever, but you have to stand in front of the mirror. You have to face yourself, and you have to say out loud, Kyle is a great writer. Kyle is a good author. Kyle is a great world builder. Kyle writes great combat. Kyle writes character depth. Kyle develops great mechanic systems, whatever it is. Stand there, tell yourself that every day for 30 days. That's my challenge to you. Stand there, verbally out loud, tell yourself to your face for 30 days. And see, after 30 days, reflect and see how you feel about yourself. It could be almost anything. TJ is a great cook. TJ is a genuine friend. TJ is financially frugal. Whatever thing you want to work on, tell yourself as if you've already accomplished it, as if you're already doing it. It was just, dude, a complete changer for me in so many ways. We are our own worst critics. See, John A. Douglas, man, fellow author. He knows, he gets it. TJ is an inspiration. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So there you go. Keep an optimistic mindset. Write down what you want to achieve, or believe about yourself, I should say, and then tell yourself that for at least 30 days, every single day. And here's the thing is, we're easy to say like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start that on August 15th. I'm going to start that at the middle of the month. I'm going to start that on September 1st. I'm going to start the whole month. No, start tomorrow. August 4th, start tomorrow. September 5th. Put that date on the calendar. Put a reminder on your phone. On September 5th, when you go to do that, have a reminder telling you, hey, how do you feel now? How do you feel after 30 days? Don't wait for a certain date on the calendar. For when it feels right, do it today and start. Okay.
Mindset is the reason why you're not where you're supposed to be. I need you to confront you because you're the one holding you up. I need you to confront you. I need you to look in the mirror and tell you, you are not going to do me like this no more. You're not going to continue to sabotage me. You're not. You're not going to keep procrastinating. I need you. You're not. There are those of you who are looking at that person or that thing and saying it's messing you up. That's not the truth. You messing you up. You always want to blame other people. You want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just said you're giving 50%. You owe you an explanation. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? Everything that you want, everything that you dream of, everything that you want to possess is phenomenal except for you. Is it that you're not where you're supposed to be because you don't have what it takes? Are you not where you're supposed to be because you don't have the opportunity? No. What it boiled down to is you not where you're supposed to be because you average. Every single thing you do is average. I'm suggesting to you that if you want to be great, that you're the first in the class and you the last one to leave. I suggest that you study every single page. You take every single note. You listen to every single thing the teacher tells you. Beast mode. You go to the training and you're listening and you're writing. Beast mode. You have to get to a place where you become comfortable with being uncomfortable. We no longer place ourselves in mindset is the reason why.
So one, I thought it was funny because I had no idea like that video was right after and what was going to come up. But I think one of the things is, granted, I know like a lot of these motivational videos have the physical fitness theme to them. But the one thing I want to remind is that all of those people that are shown like exercising in the video are going through those, are fighting those same inner voices that are telling them to stop. And they're still choosing to go. So shift the mindset. Once you shift the mindset and you stay devoted and you stay locked on to that goal, that's when things are going to change. Okay, I forget where else I wanted to end on. I don't know. I'm scared now. I'm scared of, because I'm like, I didn't prep these videos before the stream.
You know, when I was a kid, with 11, 12 years old, we didn't have money. and we live with in the same place that the other place, the younger places. All my life, what I did and what I do, it's because I have passion. For example, 75% of my life is football. Effort, dedication, work hard, because the talent is not enough anymore. And if you're not dedicated 100%, you're not gonna reach the level that you want. I remember I was in Lisbon, very normal residence. I can say a poor residence. It's part of my sacrifice, my obsession to win, to have success. You know, when I say success, it's I worked for that. Talent is not enough. I dedicate myself so much that this is part of me. Records is part of me. I don't follow the records. The records follow me.
To be in my shoes is not easy, but I'm not complaining. I just want to say that I'm feel happy. All this happened because the reason is I'm unbelievable inside the pitch. This is why the people have so much interest on me. I try to be the best all the time. Sometimes it's not possible because, we are human beings and we are not machines.
When I was a kid, at 11, 12 years old, we don't have money. And we live in the same place that the other place, the younger places. All my life, what I did and what I do, it's because I have passion. For example, 75% of my life is football. Effort, dedication, work hard, because the talent is not enough anymore. And if you're not dedicated 100%, you're not gonna reach the level that you want. I remember I was in Lisbon, very normal residence. I can say a poor residence. It's part of my sacrifice, my obsession to win, to have success. When I say success, it's I worked for that. Talent is not enough. I dedicate myself so much that this is part of me. Records is part of me. I don't follow the records. The records follow me.
To be in my shoes is not easy, but I'm not complaining.
As soon as that second time he said it, I don't follow the records follow me. Like, if you actually dissect that statement, think about that. There are some people who are like, I want to be a Super Bowl champion. I want to be a 5-time Super Bowl champion. He's saying, I am doing this with so much commitment, devotion, drive, that the records are what follow me. But that's not my vision. My vision is far beyond that. It's a continual pattern. And so there's some people who will look at things and say, I want to be a best-selling author. They see this success or this tag or whatever it is, and they think that's what I want to be. And that's what he's saying is, don't have that mindset. I am so passionate and obsessed with this thing, this talent, or this certain creative endeavor, that I am just doing that. And that's what comes once I put the focus there. Kyle Big Wilkie, you have to believe in yourself when no one else does. That makes you a winner right there. Venus Williams, absolutely. Don't practice till you get it right. Practice till you can't get it wrong. Oh, I like that. That is fire. Don't practice till you get it right. Practice till you can't get it wrong. Oh, 100%, dude. That is a fire comment. Without passion, you won't do something 100%. That's the bottom line. Without passion, you won't do something 100%. I can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. Where am I going? Boom, there we are. Okay, you guys. Those are the motivations for the week. Those are the updates. We're still working. We're still grinding. We're still keeping our vision on this thing. We're still enjoying the skill process. So, with that being said, what do you need to do now? What do you guys need to do? What do you need to look in the mirror and tell yourself you're going to start working on? Small steps. Small steps. but where we need to go, which direction we need to take that first step. All right, you guys, I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me. I need to get to some writing because this is the direction I'm going. I'm going this way, and I need to get to some writing because Golem Master Book 2 will not be done unless I sit down, take the time to devote to creating this world. So, Book 2, chapter, what is it? What chapter am I on? Chapter 19. Chapter 19 is about to go get written. So, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, seriously, the Dying Breed community, Warrior Bernard, Fighters Maxwell, Foster Q, Guardian Wilkie, Soldiers Boslo, Little Panda Aiden, Unwired, and of course Defenders LG, Jodan, Miss Aoife, and Deck Commander Stephen Landry. I thank you guys so much for all of your support. Thank you for tuning in for another weekend update. I'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. Let's go get it.
Yeah, I don't believe in destiny. I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me. You ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with my notes. Call me aggressive with my flow. Call me offensive even though Joe, I ain't gonna lie, life's tough. Try to get by, life's rough. Try to do it right, it's not enough. Even though you try, you still mess up. But I'm still gonna fight for what I love. Still gonna die for what I love. Still gonna try, I won't give up. Still gonna fight until I've won. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left. And I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win. I won't stop till the end, no. Some injuries, mentally and physically. Studied them religiously so I don't repeat history. And people won't admit to me they don't want a victory. Bad enough to get a C, they'd rather just go leave it be. And oh, this journey I've been on since 13. Working hard and learning, never stopping searching. Yeah, it's burning, all this passion hurts me. I took action working, writing down these words. No, I'm not okay, I just wanna be something. I don't wanna be nothing, living all alone. No, I'm not alright, I'm just barely getting by. But I'll tell you I'm just fine, so you leave me alone. They say I'm way too obsessed and I've got nothing left. And I'm not quite there yet, but those words they'll regret. Cause I've got something left and I'm not giving in. I will not let them win, I won't stop.